Hi guys, welcome back to Catching Up with Kat, the podcast, the wedding era. This is my civil wedding recap episode, which is insane. You guys, I'm married. I'm a married woman. There's a ring on my finger. I'm wearing my fiance sweater that my best friend gave me that I think I need an upgrade. I need a wifey sweater. I'm a wife. Like, this is nuts. And considering where this podcast started all these months ago to today, now we're married. The civil wedding's done. It's just wow, like what a deep breath moment. So, we have so much to catch up on. I'm going to walk you through literally minute by minute of the entire civil wedding weekend, but we have some housekeeping to do at the top, and I'll start there. One, I know it's been a long time since the podcast has come out. That is because we were still having the copyright problem with the name, and I didn't know what to do about it. And honestly, it got just a little too overwhelming for me. I didn't mean to start this fire. And it's all going to be fine, but it just really, disheartened me from continuing the podcast. It just felt like a huge boulder to move, and I didn't have, the bobcat thingy to move it. It was just, a lot. It was overwhelming, and I didn't need to take that on top of work and planning weddings and all of that stuff. So that's why the podcast has taken a huge pause, and why this might be the last episode, technically, that's a podcast. This podcast is also posted on YouTube. So if you have enjoyed catching up, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, same name, Catching Up with Kat. You should be able to find it. And I will still be posting videos like this and other interviews and some vlogs on that channel, just because I'm not sure if I can keep posting it on the podcast platforms. But you know what? This is such an important episode that I'm going to wing it and hope that it's fine. Because first and foremost, I really want to remember this love bubble that I'm in, and remember this weekend as well as possible, so I can look back one day and be like, oh yeah, remember, and I remember all those details, because I'm going to forget the details. Today is May 6th. We got married May 2nd, so that was 4 days ago. So I also really want to word vomit out everything that happened this past weekend so that I don't forget, because if I wait a week, a month, things are going to slip through the cracks, and I'm going to hope that nothing slips through the cracks as I'm talking right now. Second of all, I know that people are curious and they want to know, and they've been so supportive and kind. You guys are the best, and I want to share all the details with you guys as well, because I adore you guys, and if you're listening, that means the universe to me. So I will also be filling you in there. But like I said, I'm not sure where the podcast goes because of the name, but the YouTube will be just fine. So please go connect with me over on YouTube. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, blah, 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 blah. Probably the most active on TikTok. If you really want all the nitty gritty, the most content, TikTok's where it's at. So let's get started. I'm a wife. My wedding band is my grandmother's. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. So it's diamonds set in a channel setting in gold. And then if you rotate it like I'm doing on the video, it's just gold. So I kind of love that I get two rings in one. It's so beautiful. My grandfather gave it to me when my grandmother passed away in October. And I also got it engraved. Let me take off the rings so I can show it to you, see if you can see it. So I got it engraved with their wedding date and our wedding date. You can't really see it. And sorry for the icky band-aid. I cut my thumb on a mandolin, is that what they're called? Yesterday in the kitchen. So thankfully that wasn't there for the wedding, but it's here now. So, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm speaking so fast because I'm just so excited. I don't want to forget anything. Let's start from the top. On Thursday last week was my last full day as a fiance, where I could get errands done, work, whatever, because on Friday, all of our family arrived. We only had our parents present at the civil wedding. That was a decision we made a long time ago. We had my husband's mom and dad, who are still together. We had my mom and dad, who are divorced, and my mom's husband there. So that was us plus me and my husband, and we had a content creator, Diana, from the London Vow. I decided to use a content creator instead of a photographer for a bunch of reasons. I interviewed a bunch of photographers in London, and all of them were incredible, the best. But they were all like, we can get you photos in 4 to 6 weeks. And I was like, in 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to be at another wedding. I need these photos immediately. And I also didn't really want to be so photo heavy. I wanted to have the videos. So I found Diana on TikTok, or maybe she found me. I can't remember. I've been talking to a lot of people. We found each other and we fell in love. No, I'm just kidding. We just like really clicked. Diana is fabulous, and we, like I said, we really just clicked. And that's why I decided to use a content creator instead of a photographer. I highly recommend Diana and highly recommend going down that route because I still got photos. I got all these videos and I had all of the content by the time I woke up the next morning. So I didn't have any wait time. She also did some edits for me, but very few. I think like 2 or 3 edits for me. But it was perfect because now I have all of the raw content and I can edit it however I want to. So, sorry, Thursday was my last day being a fiance running around. I got my nails done. They were so pretty. I was carrying a pink bouquet of peonies and I really wanted my nails to be like peony pink, and they were literally perfect. I loved them. I wanted them on the pinker side, not the nude side, and they turned out fabulously. I have no idea the color because as we were doing it, they were coming out like too like raw chickeny, and I asked to switch the colors, and I think there's like 3 different colors on my nails, so I wish I could tell you. I have no idea. I can never recreate it, which sucks because I would love to have the same color for the wedding in the south of France. I also did crest white strips on Thursday. I did a little gradual tanner. The gradual tanner that I was using was the Saint-Tropez classic gradual tan. It was a light to medium. It was not this crazy like, ooh, I'm tan. It just gave me like a little sun kiss moment, which was perfect. I also Thursday like went to a Pilates class. I cleaned up the entire flat because I knew our parents were going to be around. I got flowers for the flat. I've got like beautiful bouquets like such all around. We really like to have fresh flowers in our apartment. And then for Friday, so Thursday night, I put my hair into heatless curlers, heatless rollers, whatever. Yeah, heatless curls. Woke up Friday. My mom and her husband had landed in London at like 6:30. So by the time I woke up at 7, they were landed. And I met them immediately at their hotel. They were staying at the Langham. And we met for breakfast. And we just spent the entire day together. So my mom, myself, and her husband, we had breakfast together. And then my mom and I went and did a little shopping because, like, why not? And my mom wanted to get her nails done, and I hadn't gotten a pedicure. So she got a manicure, I got a pedicure, and then we went and had lunch quickly. And then I had my wedding dress fitting in Notting Hill. So the wedding dress fitting was really exciting because I had not tried on my wedding dress that I bought in New York in December since then. And I was so nervous. I was like, I hope it fits. I hope it looks the way it looks. Like there was a lot of anxiety around it. And I also knew that this was the only time that my mom was going to see me in the dress before the wedding in France. So like, it felt like there was a lot of pressure. So my mom and I went to the dress fitting and it was a little overwhelming. The dress was so big on me and really disappointing because like that means that the alterations are going to be so much more money, and I don't really know why the dress was so big on me. I have not lost a single pound. I have not fluctuated in weight. It was so frustrating. So that happened. It wasn't ideal. And then to celebrate, my mom and I had little cocktails. And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, like there's gonna be videos all over the place, like all my TikToks. It's gonna be a very visual episode, so definitely tune in to see what I'm talking about. We had a little Aperol, and then I hopped in a cab to drop off some stuff at my flat, and then jumped in the tube and met up with my dad, who had arrived that afternoon. And my dad had actually never met my future in-laws, or my current in-laws. My mom met them a couple months ago in France. So my dad, myself, my husband, and his parents, we all met for a little champagne cocktail toast just so they could meet each other before the next day, and that went really well. It was probably only like 30 minutes. It was really quick, but it was like perfect. Like everyone met, everyone liked each other. We all had a glass of champagne, and then we all split up and went to different dinner reservations. My mom and her husband went somewhere for dinner. My dad and I went to my favorite French restaurant in our neighborhood, Paulette, and we sat outside. It was perfect. And then my husband and his parents went to our favorite Indian restaurant. So everyone split up for dinner that night. And when my dad and I got to Paulette, we had an 8 p.m. dinner reservation. But our table wasn't ready yet, and we were sitting outside, and we know the owner, so the owner was like, hey, like, sorry, table's running late, go to the pub across the street. We'll text you once it's ready. So my dad and I went to the pub. We grabbed a pint of beer and chilled, and then went and got our table. And my dad and I had the best time. It's really rare for my dad and I to have like a dinner alone together because he has a wife and he's got 2 other kids back home. And I'm not in America that often, so when I am, it's usually a big family thing. And we had so much fun, too much fun. We ordered like escargot and mussels, the T-bone steak, and like wine and wine and wine. Like starting out with white, then going to red. We had already had beer. We had already had champagne. I had had an Aperol before. Like, I really did myself in. But it was worth every sip because we were bent over laughing at this dinner. We just were having the best time. We ran into some people from our tennis club, and then my fiance came at the very end to enjoy a little bit of dessert and then walk me back home, and that was the end of the night. I think we got home at like 11:30, and I at 4 o'clock in the morning woke up and I was like, like I overdid it on the booze, and that was not my plan. I was really disappointed in myself, and I really, really did not want to be hungover on the wedding day, so it gave me a lot of anxiety, and I was feeling really nauseous, so I got that out of my system, thankfully, and woke up. But my Garmin watch, I wear a Garmin watch because I like to track my sleep and everything. My Garmin watch said I had 4 hours of sleep the night before my wedding, and that wasn't great. So when we did wake up, my husband went and played, I think he played some tennis that morning. Honestly, I can't remember. I did not get out of bed. I was like, please leave me alone. Keep the curtains down. I'm miserable. We are getting married tonight. What did I do to myself? Like, Kat, you're smarter than this. So I actually stayed in bed till around 2 p.m. Thankfully, our wedding was at 7:30. We had the final time slot at Old Marylebone Town Hall, which was so nice because it felt like we had kind of rented the entire place out. I was the last bride in, the last bride out. There was no one around. There was no other families, people, brides. Like, it was just us. It felt like we had rented out the entire space. It was so cool. But let's go back. So at 2 o'clock, I like finally came through and came to. I did my own hair and makeup, and then I invited my dad to come over to our flat quickly because he had actually never seen it and seen the tennis club. So he came over, saw the flat, went to the tennis club. We ran to a bunch of friends, which was nice because he'll see a lot of them at the wedding in a couple weeks. And then we just kind of chilled here for a little bit. And at around 5 o'clock, my dad and I jumped into a car. I dropped him off at his hotel, and then I went over to my mom's hotel to get ready. At that point in the Uber, when I was literally arriving to my mom's hotel, I realized that I had left my bouquet of flowers at home, and I was like, oh no. So thankfully my husband brought them to town hall and gave them to my dad to give to me once we arrived, but it was all fine. I arrived at my mom's hotel. I was starving because I had had literally nothing to eat, and I was a little hungover still, so I ordered, honest to God, the best club sandwich I've ever had in my entire life at the Langham. We got room service and a bottle of ginger ale, and it saved my life. I asked for extra mayo, lots of egg, just, oh my gosh. I'll put a photo of it. It was so good. I ate it in under 7 minutes. Like, I texted my fiance a photo. I was like, got myself a club sandwich, and 7 minutes later, I was like, I finished it. I sent him like a photo of the plate all empty. I crushed it. So that gets us probably to like 6:30 was when Diana, the content creator, was coming to meet us at the hotel. So at around 6:30, she arrived. We said hello, and I just like slipped into my dress. My wedding dress was my grandmother's wedding dress that she wore to marry my grandfather in 1966, in August of 1966. It would have been 60 years this August, but unfortunately she passed away in October, as I've spoken about. Luckily, I got to try on her dress with her in August. We have photos of me and her in it together that I'll put up on the YouTube. I also have tried the dress on once, I think when I was like 12, like quite young. I'll also put that photo. I think I have it somewhere on my phone if I can find it. So this was the 3rd time I had tried on the dress. So it was really, really cool and really special and emotional. I also, she also didn't have the veil that she wore to her wedding in the wedding dress box that got preserved, so I didn't intend on wearing a veil. I thought it would look pretty, and then as the time got closer, it kind of felt like the look was incomplete without a veil, And I'm not gonna lie, I bought a veil off of Shein. I think it was like £5, £6, a mantilla veil. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It was beautiful and it happened to fit perfectly, and that's what I wore. So, yeah, I wore a veil from Shein. Shine? I don't know how to pronounce it. Whatever. And my grandmother's wedding dress, and it was fabulous. So once Diana got to the hotel room, my mom quickly zipped me up into the dress, and we were kind of out the door because we had to be at town hall at 7. Like, this was dink, 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 dink. Like, it was... So my mom, myself, Diana, and my mom's husband, we get into a black cab from the Langham, and we go to Marylebone Town Hall. It was really important to me to have the town hall wedding feel significantly different than the wedding that's going to be happening in France, because I don't want the moments that are happening in France to be diluted because we already did those moments in London. So the ways that we made the wedding a lot different were, one, the dress. My wedding dress is 180 degrees different than the dress that I wore at town hall. I was always planning on having my mom and my dad walk me down the aisle in France. And so for the town hall, I asked if just my dad would walk me down the aisle, just to have that like little traditional moment and have it feel different than the South of France wedding. What else did we do? Oh, it was just 6 of us, 7 of us, not 97 of us, like big differences. And we did not do personal vows at the town hall wedding because we plan on doing personal vows in France. Oh, and for town hall, we did not do a first look. So the first time he saw me was when I like turned into the room, and we had that moment, because we will be doing a first look in France because of like time constraints and planning. And I just think it's going to be easier for us to take those photos before the ceremony, do the ceremony, and then we can be with our guests. So there was a lot of things that we got to do for the town hall wedding that we won't be able to do in the South of France wedding, and vice versa. So I feel like I got to tick like every single bridal box in the best way. So I feel really good about that. So then my dad and I got put into a separate room so that we were hidden. We had like a quick like pre-wedding interview to make sure that I am who I am and that I'm not getting sex trafficked and I'm not getting married against my will, blah, blah, blah. I'll pass that test with flying colors. And then like it was go time. Like everything happened so quickly. And I remember thinking like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. And I was like, get that out of your head. Like, there is no time. Like, you're wearing a ball gown. Like, blah, 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 blah. Like, just go. So town hall also suggested we have 3 songs during the wedding. One that I walk into, one that is played while we sign our marriage certificate, and one that we walk out to. So I had asked my dad, I was like, what song do you think we should walk down the aisle to? And he said, let's do Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. And I thought that was really perfect because we're in London and it was just like a really sweet thing. So that's what we chose for that. So the song that we played while we were signing the marriage certificate was an Edith Piaf song, and it was the Celine Dion version that she sang at the opening ceremony of the Summer Olympics in Paris, which is a song that like me and my husband and his family listen to all the time when we're in France. So there was like sentimental value there. And then the last song that we walked out to was Bruno Mars' Marry You. I think I want to marry you, like that song, which was so cute because it was just like got us all like like all hyper and ready to rumble. So then my dad and I walk in. It's so cute. We say our vows. We do a ring warming ceremony. Oh, so I always really wanted to do a ring warming ceremony in France, but because of the way that our guests are going to be seated, it's going to be too difficult because they're kind of on tiers to pass the rings around. And maybe too many guests to get it to all the guests and back up to us in time. So I got to do the ring warming ceremony in town hall with our parents, blessing our rings. We put it on, and then voila, like we're married. Oh, last thing about the ceremony. We asked both of our moms to be our witnesses. So on our marriage certificate are both of our moms as our formal witnesses. And I thought that was really sweet. It was a nice way to honor them and thank them. And then, yeah, like I said, we were done. Our parents got ushered out to the front steps of Old Marylebone Town Hall, which is a really iconic venue, and with confetti, and my husband and I came out, and this video went viral on TikTok. The day that I'm recording this, I think it's at like 20,000 views. Like, it's so funny. First of all, my number one tip if you're going to do confetti, don't open your mouth. Like, smile, keep your teeth shut. Because I was so excited, so happy. I was like, ah, like my mouth's open, and I got a fistful of confetti in my mouth, on my tongue, down my throat, like, and I'll put that video here. It is so funny. One of the confetti poppers didn't go off. The one that my mom's husband was holding like was a dud. It was just the most chaotic, hilarious, perfect Renaissance painting moment I've ever seen. So like I said, I'll put the video right here. It's my favorite video I think that's ever been recorded. Like, I just cannot stop laughing. It is so funny. My biggest tip is that to bring extra confetti in case something like that happens. Like, you might miss that photo moment if you want to redo it. We had more confetti. I just only brought the amount of confetti cannons as we had. I didn't realize that like I needed extra confetti cannons. So if you have extra, bring extra. Also, just like keep your mouth shut, which is maybe like a good metaphor for life. But I kind of wish that I had been more aware of my mouth when the confetti went flying, so I didn't get like suffocated by it. And it was so funny. I mean, we were all dying laughing. So once we finished that moment, we walked from Town Hall to the Landmark, which is right across the street, and that's where my husband's parents were staying, where my dad was staying. And we quickly changed out of my grandmother's wedding dress, and I put on a beautiful white sequin like t-shirt shift dress that my mother-in-law had gifted me last year. It was one of her dresses, and last year she gave me a bunch of her clothing that no longer like suits her, and it was perfect. So I really wanted to surprise her by wearing that and honor her and the family that they're welcoming into. So the dress that I wore to dinner was my mother-in-law's dress, and it was so cute. And we went off to dinner. So we had dinner at the Hero in Maidaville, which is our local pub. We were there all the time, and we had a private room upstairs, like a small private dining room, and it was phenomenal. When we arrived, they had champagne on ice. They had our wedding cake out that I got delivered from the Hummingbird Bakery in Notting Hill, an iconic bakery. We had the cutest cake, and so we did a quick champagne toast. We cut into the cake, and then Diana left. So Diana was with us from 6:30 to 9:30. She was with us for 3 hours, and then when she left, we sat down, we ate, and then we like ate the cake for dessert. I can't tell you what this dinner meant to me. My parents are divorced. They got divorced when I was like 3, and I have never ever had a meal with the 3 of us. I genuinely, I can't think of one time that the 3 of us have ever had a meal in my entire life, because as far as I know, they've never been together to my like memory. So dinner was genuinely like every single dream come true, because I'm sitting there with my husband, who I love so much, with my in-laws, who are amazing. Like, I really won the lottery with my in-laws, with my mom and her husband, who are wonderful, and my dad, who's the best, and everyone's laughing, getting along. Like, I don't know how to describe what that dinner meant to me and what that dinner healed in me. Like, I feel like my inner child was just, I haven't stopped smiling since. Like, my feet are still on cloud 9. Like, I hope to never come down from this. This was the best weekend ever, and genuinely seeing my parents so happy and getting along and laughing and interacting with my in-laws. Like, it felt like there was a glitch in the Matrix, and all of a sudden all these people are sitting at one table and we're married. Like, it was just the best, because I'm sure if like you're a child of divorce, you're used to maybe having to compartmentalize your life, and that's really how I have been. It's like, I have a life over here and I have a life over here, and then I've also had my life with my in-laws over there in France. So to see all 3 universes collide at one dinner table and then have it go so well was just like incredible. And the Hero is the best. I love the Hero, and they took such great care of us. We had so much T-bone steak on the table. We had champagne, we had red wine, we had white wine, we had candles. Like, oh my gosh, it was so fabulous. We were the last people to leave the Hero. We left at like around midnight, and because it's in our neighborhood, we walked home. It was so nice. So we put our parents into Ubers, and my husband and I walked home hand in hand back to our flat, and just, that was it. We couldn't fall asleep that night. We were so excited. We could have been like, oh my God, we did it. And it was just beyond perfect. So that is my civil wedding recap. I can't believe it's come. I can't believe it's gone. I can't believe next step is the big wedding. I'm just the luckiest girl in the whole wide world, and I'm so glad that I took the time to record this. And if anyone's listening, I'm so grateful that you're listening, but like, really, I hope that I didn't forget anything, because I imagine that in 6 months, a year, 6 years, I'll rewatch this and be like, oh yeah, you got all of those details, you remembered everything. And It was just perfect. It was just perfect. Perfect. So that's my civil wedding recap. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm just so lucky. Anyways, thank you all.